it's a new pain point that I've been feeling, that I know you're feeling, and a lot of people I think are going through this right now of, okay, now I know what abundance feels like. Now I know how to manifest, but I'm not satisfied with my life. And then we can live our whole life and never get to the point where we're free. What I want to shift into that I find to be such a relevant topic for definitely for the two of us. I know that we're both experiencing this shift in another shift in consciousness, which is almost like everything that came before this was training ground, right? Like we needed something to strive for. We needed desires to spark the fire and the fuel. And we needed to know what it felt like to be committed and consistent and to do the practical things of taking an idea into reality. So it's a new pain point that I've been feeling, that I know you're feeling, and a lot of people I think are going through this right now of, okay, now I know what abundance feels like. Now I know how to manifest, but I'm not satisfied with my life because there's some other programming that has been overriding probably us coming into alignment with what our actual dreams are, what our actual mission is. And maybe you can speak to that because I'm still trying to figure this out myself. It's kind of like, what is that thing that is bringing us to a place where we are using our energy, we're using our time and our skills on building realities that we don't even really want, but we think it's the right thing to do. We think we should value it. We think it's going to bring us security and safety, which is an illusion. And then we can live our whole life and never get to the point where we're free to pursue the things that we love. It's a widespread experience that's happening. And I don't have the answer quite yet, other than it's time to talk about this. Because here you are, this brilliant manifester who's touched significant abundance, and you've nailed every goal you've ever set in front of yourself. And kind of like, I guess the question is, what is it going to take for you to actually go for the actual gold at the end of the rainbow?
Yeah. So I shared with you earlier that, like, as I've been fascinated and watching, the making of movies, I also took different levels of classes in Phoenix downtown, Torch Theater, right? Improvisational theater. Loved it. Loved, performing. Amazing. And I've always wanted to continue that. The Torch closed down after COVID. And I did visit the Bridge Theater, which is another improv theater in Tempe. And I went to one of their live jams where you can jump in and do improv. Oh, I was very rusty, but it was awesome to be there, the energy. So I've always had this feeling like, and I've just kind of always known that that's what I want to be more part of. Mm-hmm. And, one thing I didn't share with you, Kat, is I received many, many calls afterwards from this casting company for different things that they were doing. A lot of it was all revolved around dating shows. But at the time I was dating people, and I would run the idea past them, and they're like, absolutely not. And I'm like, well, you don't understand. It's not real, whatever. Right. They weren't having it. So I've always envisioned myself going out and I've always envisioned myself, because I have friends of mine that do, what is it called? Where you're like a background actor. I forget what it's called.
Like an extra.
There you're extra, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're still extras, some of them right now in California. So I've always wanted to start off, and they've told me, sign up with this talent agency. They even told me, the talent agencies, sign up with this one, sign up with that one, do this, do that. Yeah. And then I don't do it, right? And then I'm thinking, I've got to build up my financial wealth here first. So if I get called out, I can go out and then do it, and then whatever. I think that's one of the fears, that I didn't even want to live abroad. My whole goal was I was going to live abroad. I was going to get my MBA, go move abroad. I planned all that out, and then the economy of Brazil crashed and I didn't go. And I said, well, I'm going to be in Arizona so I can be close to California so I can start to work on these things that I want to. And then I just kind of froze after that. I just kind of froze in my head. I get this thought like, I got to start doing this again. But I keep telling myself, well, I'm not going to do these classes again until this. And I think a lot of times we set up this, I'm not going to do this until this happens. And as a result, it keeps turning into analysis by paralysis. Then it never happens. So the funny thing is yesterday I was on my computer and I was looking, and I started to look to see when are they having classes again for improvisational theater acting at the Bridge, theater in Tempe. And I said, I'm just going to sign up and just start, because if I don't, I'm not going to get towards my path, right? And one of the speeches that Denzel Washington gave that I heard was super powerful when he was talking to university. And he said a lot of things, but one of the main things he said is, if you have this burning desire for something, right? Something good to do, it's because, that was put there inside you to accomplish, right? And if you're not going after it, then I think you're always going to live a life of not being very fulfilled. You may feel okay at times, but I think as a result, there's a lot of people that don't feel fulfilled with life, so they fill it full of distractions. When you're doing what you want to do and you're making a living from doing what you want to do, then that's fun, right? Whether you're really wealthy from it or whether you're just living okay, you're still doing what you enjoy doing, right? Versus focusing on doing something that you just dread doing. Oh, I got to cold call these people today, and just, this is not fun, not saying everything has to be fun, but I think that if we focus on what our heart wants and we listen to what our heart wants, even if you put your hand on your heart and you just focus on, what do I want? Who do I want to be? What am I supposed to do? And we keep asking for guidance. I think we will receive it. I know that we all have internal guidance counselors, I like to say, right? Yeah. But a lot of times we shut them off and we play music in our heads and we're like, la la, not listening to you. And then as a result, we're not happy, right? We're not happy. So I think we need to focus on what makes us happy, spend more time doing what makes us happy. And what are we good at? If you're good at something and you enjoy doing something, focus on those things. Yeah. Right? Like, I love talking to people. I love being in front of people. And acting is so much fun. I love it. But why am I not pursuing it more? Oh, because I got to do this. I got to be this first. I got to whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to sign myself back up. I'm going to jump into that space. I'm going to start very slowly. Hey, it may not be at the end what I think it's going to be, or it may be better, or I don't know, but I'm going to go for it. Right. Yes. So my message to everybody is just go for it.